Make sure that that's good. There we go. What up, though, y'all? Y'all already know what time it is. I don't know why you playing. Let me put everything. Let me make sure everything is everything. Because we don't got time. You feel me? We don't got time to be playing. Okay, let me also make sure that I don't... Everything is turned up. All right. Y'all already know what time it is. It's the Couch Chronicles, and there ain't no fucking limits. None. The fuck? Y'all already know what I'm about to do. Get the music started. I'm about to get the music started so I can share the live, and let's get it popping. It is prison talk. So y'all already know I'm about to start off with time. Y'all already know the vibes. If you watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button. If you watching on Facebook, share the live. Let's go. It's prison talking this bitch.
Ay, big slum, I did big time, giving up the years. They took me straight off the front line, I'm not lying. Been watching my mama cry up in that courtroom.
Right.
Then the judge just dismissed me like I was dumb too. Then the bailiff looked at me like, what you gon' do? My mind is fucked up, so all I'm thinking is I'm gon' shoot. In reality, set in like it was supposed to. Cat calls down the hall, that's what them folks do. Brown bag, bologna sandwich in them jumpsuits. My cellmate just did 100 years on some dumb shit. Damn, is this the end of the days? Cause living in the cell is just like being in the grave. If ain't no money on your books, then you ain't eating shit. You better pray that you get mail a penitentiary gift. And for them lonely days, a visitation list from your family and your friends, that's a major lift. And yo, spirit, all the drama on the yard, you wanna forget it, yeah. Behind these walls is different, and you wouldn't understand if you didn't live it. Ayy, big slime, I did big time, ayy, and they took me out the front line. I'm still scarred from doing my time, and everybody said I should let go. I'm trying, but it is something to my mental. In or out the pen, you know I'm staying 10 toes. You know, now you know, I hold my own, that ain't wrong. And I know I gotta think different, cause if I don't, then I guess I be the same nigga. Wait, I'm tryna let it go. I'm tryna be a better person so I don't have to get physical. I gotta get my mind right for the limelight. I don't care who judging if they don't know doing timeline. Tryna be an example to my fans and all my peoples and my nieces and my nephew. Big slime, I did big time. Sitting in the cold cell in the daytime. Your time be fine, but it's not like the world, no. Big slime, I did big time. Giving up them years that took me straight off the front line, I'm not lying. I'm watching my mama cry up in that courtroom. Then the judges dismissed me like I was dumb too. Then the bailiff looked at me like, what you gon' do? My mind is fucked up, so all I'm thinking is I'm gon' shoot. Damn, is this the end of the days? Cause living in the cell is just like being in the grave.
And that's just real fucking talk. Yo, if y'all don't know what time it is, it's prison talk right here on the couch. Every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8 Central Time. Y'all already know what time it is. What up, though, Michael? Y'all see, Michael Lawrence is back in Detroit. Y'all, if you watching from Detroit, make sure y'all tap in. If you're looking for a producer, engineer, mixing and mastering, all of that. Custom beats, all of that. Y'all see I got my little popsicle drink today. So let me tell y'all what it is. It's TLC, obviously. But as we waiting on my guest to get in, which hopefully he comes. If he doesn't, guess what? Y'all already know what time it is. We still gonna do that talking. You feel me? So after I put my little popsicle in my drink, okay, because I'm about to take a little sip. Yes. Oh, and this is pina colada. Let's go. Y'all, it is prison talk if you don't already know. So spread the word. If you know anybody that want to talk about it, I do it every month. Now, tomorrow, actually, Tomorrow is gonna be a little deep because we actually have a nurse that used to work at Mabel Bassett. Let me take a sip on that because one, if you know, you know. And y'all know we can't make none of this shit up. Ooh, that tastes good. So I got a new addition to my backdrop. Somebody actually painted me a picture for the podcast. I'm super excited. So shout out to World of Buddha for painting me this beautiful shroom lady. I love it. I fucking love it. I had to hang it up already. I said, you know what? Oh yeah, YouTube can see it too. And y'all see my nigga Damian Lillard up there. Dame time. Okay, if you haven't checked out his music, you need to do that too. Because his music go hard. I'm just saying. Now, trigger warning. For those that have been locked up, this is about to be a trigger warning for you. I'm sorry. But how many of y'all still get anxiety when you see these? Like, seriously. For real, like... Oh, I guess I should... Wait. Oh, damn, why did I do this? I done fucked up. Trigger warning. Anyway, so how many of you still get anxiety when you see these handcuffs? Like who in the fuck? This shit ain't no joke. Like, sometimes I still get anxiety whenever I see these things. I'll be like, oh, shit. So, imagine... So, you know when you're pregnant, they're not allowed to put your hands behind your back. You are supposed to be cuffed in the front. Now, one thing about... I don't know if y'all remember what a black box is. But a black box also has cuffs to it. But it's a black box and you're usually by yourself. So when I was in county, I used to always want to be black box. Because I didn't want to be chained to everybody else. Because you know when you on the chains, they dragging behind you and your arm is all like... Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay? Nobody got time for that shit. So I used to always black box. In black boxing, you always get to have your wrist cuffed in the front. Oh, boy. So, it's a wonder why I have handcuffs, huh? Yeah. But, you know, sometimes it get a little freaky in this bitch. I'm just kidding, y'all. It's the Couch Chronicles and it ain't no fucking limits. Y'all already know it's prison talk, so we about to get started. My guest is not here yet, so we about to talk about some shit that happened on the yard. Now, I know yesterday, or not yesterday, but the day before, I spoke on some of the ladies, and if you know any gentlemen that lost their lives as well, please mention them. But some of the ladies that lost their lives, either locked up or whenever they got out. And just like we mentioned, Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, I want to be able to mention them as well. So anytime you get a chance, mention your people. Like, fuck, you got to. Keep them relevant, man. I ain't gonna cry today. Y'all not about to get me crying today. Y'all see I'm freshly dyed, ready for the wedding. I'm super excited. It's 9 more days until I officially say yes. I'm super excited. I'm ready to be Mrs. Delancey. Okay. So, I'm going to play another song. I'm going to share the live. Because y'all know I can't make none of this shit up on this motherfucking podcast. Stop playing with me. If you watching on Facebook, make sure you share the live. If you watching on YouTube, make sure that you hit the like button. It's the Couch Chronicles and it ain't no fucking limits. It is prison talk. So if you was locked up and you want to talk about your time on the yard or what you doing now, feel free to tap in. Listen, I don't mind. Feel free to tap in. If you want to talk about it, if you scared, that's fine. Trust me when I say I get a lot of people that's scared to come on here and talk about their time on the yard. I don't know why. But if you scared, go to church. Because we can't make none of this shit up. Yes. What up, Deuce? I hope you still on here. You should tap it. Let me bring you up on the live. See if you come in.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
And I know it's really hard to keep your head up. And you've been working every day to get your bread up. It's even lonely at the top and now you're
Get her out, y'all.
This shit is crazy, you go through but you can't make this shit up. No, this shit is crazy, you go through but you can't make this shit up. No, you can't make this shit. I ain't got no reason to me if I tell you I need me some distance. I'm just trying to get my head right and my energy. I didn't have people turn from my friends. Ooh, that shit just don't sit right. But my luck's fucked up and I can't lie. Everything that I go through, everybody can go through. Gotta keep my head up like I'm supposed to. Always tell the truth, I cross my heart and hold her tight. This shit is crazy what I go through. I can't make this shit up. No, I can't make this shit up.
Right.
No, I can't make this. No, I can't make this shit up. And I know it's really hard to keep your head up. And you've been working every day to get your bread up. It's only at the top and now you fed up. And I know it's really hard to keep your head up. Working every day to get your bread up. It's really lonely at the top and now you fed up. Oh, let it go, let it go, let it go. Make this shit up.
I can't. I'm just saying I can't. I can't make none of this shit up. And I know that you can't either. You know, sometimes and I always say this every time I play this song, but a lot of times it gets annoying. When you know you telling the truth, thank you so much. When you know you telling the truth, or when you know you, and then they looking at you like, bitch, or motherfucker, you lying. I can't make this shit up. No, I can't make this shit up. I can't. I'm just saying. Y'all, it's Prison Talk. Feel free to tap in on the live if you want to come up and talk about anything that happened on the yard or what you doing now. We ain't got to talk about what it was like in prison. We can talk about what it was like now. So I got a couple stories, though, that I do want to tell y'all. Some funny ones. So, for those that was there when I was there, what up, gang? When I was locked up, they didn't give us a lot of opportunities when it came to, like, especially whenever you want to... Right, period. Especially whenever you want to do music. Music has always been my biggest passion. I love music, everything about music. I don't give a fuck what it is, I'm doing it. So they had a band when I was locked up. I don't know if they still have it now. Or, which I know they still have it now, but I don't know if they get to perform like we used to. But when I was there, our band was the very first band that ever got to perform. And it was very, very exhilarating. Like, that was my first, like, big show. Like, I've performed in front of people. But when you performing on the yard, like, in front of everybody, that shit was fucking lit. Like, me and my wife was just talking about it the other day. Like, we had the whole education as the stage. Like, if y'all know what education, like, where education is at Mabel Bassett, y'all, that is a big-ass stage. And then, like, people was dancing. Like, we had so much fucking fun. So, I don't know what it's like now, but I learned how to play the bass guitar in prison. I just randomly picked it up because I was just like, we in a band. I really wanted to learn how to play guitar. And I was like, they was like, if you serious about learning to play, you gonna cut your nails. My nails was like this long. I ain't gonna lie. And no, I didn't do no coke. I just used to like long nails because I was like, don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me to cut my nails. I'm not cutting them. And I used to get a misconduct for it. But I always kept my nails because if I'm getting a misconduct, I'm keeping these bitches anyway. So, I kept my nails long. I don't know if y'all remember this, but I always had makeup. Not chalk. Like, I've had chalk too because I got people that wanted chalk. But I always had makeup. They called me Maybelline Queen. I always made sure that I did my makeup. I wanted to feel like I was still in the world. Like, it was fucked up, but it was just like, if I gotta wear these grays, I want to at least do my eyes. I want to at least do my lashes. I used to do each one of my lashes a different color. Like I wanted to do something totally different. I used to sell makeup, like I just anything to hustle. I used to hustle to get as far as like makeup, two for one. Come on now. Y'all remember them 2 for 1s? Stop. Do y'all still make spreads? Or am I is that too institutionalized? Huh. That's cool. But so our band, the name of our band was Contraband. It was, I'm telling you, y'all. So I picked up the bass guitar. I cut my nails one day, and I was like, well, first I started off with the guitar, and then one day I picked up the bass and I strummed that motherfucker. That motherfucker was like, doom. I was like, it was, it was almost like magic. I ain't playing. I strummed it. I was like, it was like Cinderella when when that dress came on her. I was like, but it was just so beautiful. I was like, ooh, I like this. I could fuck with this. So I learned and I played a song on it. I made my own song up. I don't even know. Oh, you know what? I don't even know if y'all remember. I might have it. Let me just double check. I might have it too. And if I do, we playing it. I got it, y'all. So this next song I'm about to play, I actually wrote this on the yard. It's called Love Tease. Now, anybody that know from the time I was on the yard in the band and everything, they know my music. They know like the songs that I was singing, the songs that I was making up, like from behind these walls, we making music. From behind these walls, can you feel it? From behind these walls, we on some real shit. From behind these walls. From behind these walls, we taking. Listen, if you know the song, then you know it. I ain't gonna finish it. Now, if you know that one, then you know this one. This is a remake, though. Oh, shit. This is a remake. I try to remake something that I made in prison because I was just like. Broken heart, left inside. No more love to return. You left me high and dry, baby, with nobody by my side. How could you make me believe that we would be love tears? All of the hurt and the pain, it never leaves a stain. Even all the things that you say don't help with the pain. No, no, please help me with this pain. Why do you always tease? I'm begging you, please. You're breaking my heart with these lies. Stop telling your lies. Nothing I ever do seems to get me back. I always wanna cry because you're not mine. Broken heart, left inside. No more love to return. You left me high and dry, baby, with nobody by my side. How could you make me believe that we would be? Watching on Facebook, share the live. If you watching on YouTube, hit the like button. Love to, I swear it's driving me crazy. If all you wanna do is screw, then tell me the truth. Please tell me the truth. Then tell me the truth. Oh yeah, yeah. If you walk out that door, please don't come back no more. Cause I don't want no more of your crazy love. If you walk out that door, please don't come back no more. Cause I don't want no more of your crazy love. Yeah. I want to tell y'all something after this. Love tease, love tease. it, so I'm gonna move to YouTube.
Why would you tease me?
Period. So if y'all know anything about when I was locked up, y'all know that I used to write music on the yard, and we used to perform them, because that's what we did. Like, music was our thing. I had an option to buy a TV or buy a MP3 player when they first came out, and I chose an MP3 player. Even though I knew that I had to buy my own music every time I wanted music on there, even though I knew that when it had to get updated, I had to go to the gym. Even if the gym wasn't closed, I didn't give a fuck. I was just like, hey, I need music. I need my motherfucking music. It's definitely, it definitely got me through a lot. Do you know people used to pay me just to use my MP3 player? Like, I had some motherfucking hits on that bitch. Stop playing. If y'all just now tuning in, it is the Couch Chronicles, and it ain't no fucking limits. It's prison talk, so we talking about the yard, we talking about whatever. But I'm gonna tell you something right after this. Follow Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify, Pandora, THA Couch on Facebook and TikTok, Couch Chronicles No Limits on Instagram, and my main YouTube and Instagram, which is tharealjanell. If you want to tip the couch, you can Cash App or PayPal or Chime, tharealjanell. Shout out to the last person that gave me a tip on my last live. It actually helped me get something for my wedding. I'm appreciative. Thank you. So, when I first got locked up, it was very hard for me to write music. I couldn't write. I couldn't get inspired. Hell, I barely even realized that I was locked up until almost the first year was over. I was still reeling in my head, like, oh my God, I'm like. So when I caught my case, the night that I caught my case, I was actually going to leave. I wasn't going to do it. I'm not going to lie, I wasn't. I was changing my mind. I was having a change of heart. I was. And so, as I was changing my mind, I looked up at the balcony. Like, in my head, I was like, nigga, like, you. Hold on. In my head, I was just like, nigga, like, you have been touched by an angel. Hold on. Oh, I think my phone is muted. It is. Okay, so I had to start the Facebook over again, obviously. But this is, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I don't like when people call me. At all. It's annoying. It is. So I'm gonna get back to what I was saying, but before that, y'all, it's the Couch Chronicles, and there ain't no fucking limits. Sorry for the pause. Somebody was calling my phone. So I'm gonna go ahead and start another song, because I definitely appreciate y'all for being here. Yeah.
Cause I grew up in the struggle. Right. Appreciate the hood cause it taught me how to hustle. Went through some hard times when I was down on my knuckles. I appreciate the ones who stuck around, just know I love you. I appreciate the long days in the trap. Appreciate the road every time I made it back. I appreciate the hard tan in that white. I But you keep pressing my gates and my baby. Something ain't right with this picture I see. So I'll cut you off to keep my energy. You say you love me. Don't need you in my life, just wait and you'll see. I appreciate the money cause I grew up in the struggle. Appreciate the hood cause it taught me how to hustle. Went through some hard times when I was down on my knuckles. I appreciate the ones who stuck around, just know I love you. I appreciate the long days in the trap. Appreciate the road every time I made it back. I appreciate the hard tan and their white. A nigga play with me, he don't appreciate his life. Don't appreciate his life. Come at me, you better come with some respect. Now in my feelings, I'm just telling you what's best. Keep it real, you got animosity. I'm not tripping, but you gon' respect me. I'm not stressing what you talking about. And if my head is come through to make you walk it out. Wait, you keep on bragging, but people come back and tell me what you be saying. You capping, give him a Grammy. I appreciate my real nigga, family and friends. The struggle only made me just be great with it. I know the people that surround me keep it real. Cause half the ones I keep around, I'm I appreciate the money cause I grew up in the struggle. Appreciate the hood cause it taught me how to hustle. Went through some hard times when I was down on my knuckles. I appreciate the ones who stuck around, just know I love you. I appreciate the long days in the trap. Appreciate the road every time I made it back. I appreciate the hard tan and their white. A nigga play with me, he don't appreciate his life. Don't appreciate his life.
I'm just saying. I'm just motherfucking saying. Yo. And if a nigga play with me, he don't appreciate his life. Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, it's a video to that one. My wife actually shot that one. Shots by Sequel. If y'all looking for any videography, photography work in Oklahoma City, and she travels. We all travel, okay? Shots by Sequel. Sequel Studios on Facebook. I'm just saying. Y'all, it is the Couch Chronicles and it ain't no fucking limits. My live got interrupted, so I had to restart it on Facebook. But if you've been watching on YouTube, it's still flowing and going. If you listening on Pandora and Spotify, it's still flowing and going. Okay. I'm just saying. So what I was saying a second ago is when I first got locked up, it was really hard for me to write music. I couldn't write music. I couldn't get inspired. And when I was telling y'all before I got interrupted about when I caught my case, I was actually leaving. I wasn't going to go in there and shoot him. I wasn't going to do any of that. So I looked up and I just so happened to see somebody that I love. Somebody that I really care about. And when I seen them on that balcony, it threw me over the edge. So instead of me just driving away like, you know what, I'm gonna just chop it up to the game, I didn't. I was like, no, this motherfucker raped me. The fuck? Like, I was 17. And it was, in my head, this is the last straw. Fuck you. So I took my double barrel shotgun and I stepped on the end of it because it was already halfway sawed off. So I stepped on the end of it to snap the rest of the piece off. Ooh. So I take my shirt and I open the door. And yes, I'm talking about it just like this because I did all my fucking time, discharge and everything. They can't do nothing else about it, baby. So I took my shirt and I opened his front door. And it just opened. It wasn't locked, nothing. I didn't have to force entry, none of that shit. So I opened that motherfucker up. And I don't know if anybody is familiar with the south side of Tulsa. But, like, over on 6-1 and 6-1, like, it's some apartments called Avondale Apartments. So, in the Avondale Apartments, as soon as you open the front door, it just goes automatically up some steps. So, I went up them steps. And all I know is I was just thinking, like, I had a co-defendant, too. I had two of them. Except one of them snitched on me, and the other one just was never found. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. So So I walk up, my co-defendant close behind me, and as soon as he looked up, he was like, "Who the fuck is that? What the fuck is you doing in my crib?" I didn't say nothing. It was this girl that just somebody that was in the back. She started walking like towards the front. What up, though? Uncle Yola in the motherfucking building. Hey, what up, though? So, Uncle Yola, I got your wedding invitation, so please DM me. So the girl started screaming, and I'm looking at her like, mind you, I didn't have no mask on because I was like, I don't give a fuck if I get caught or not. Like, my intentions is to kill this man. Now, if I end up catching a charge, it is what it is. I didn't wear no mask. I didn't wear no mask on purpose. My co-defendant and his friend had on a mask. I didn't have on shit. It was just me, raw face. What up, though? So as soon as she started screaming, he rushed me. Like, he ran up on me real fast. And it kind of caught me off guard. Mind you, I'm a woman. Well, at the time, I was a girl. You know what I'm saying? He's a grown-ass man. And my co-defendant, this is my second time getting into it with this guy. I'm going to tell you about the first time in a minute. So he's rushing me. We got the gun. And we fighting over the double barrel. So let me show y'all how it was. So we fighting like this. He got the best of me. He ended up behind me. And the double barrel was on my chin. So as we fighting like this, I literally moved my head. And when he pulled the trigger, and I couldn't hear a motherfucking thing. I thought my ear was blown off. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought my ear was gone. And so we still fighting over the gun. And it was on my chin. And right whenever, I'm telling y'all, right whenever I finally got my finger like close to the trigger, I moved my head and I pulled. But he pulled at the same time too, but he pulled the wrong one. He pulled the one that was already discharged. So I pulled the second one, and as soon as I did, all I heard was a bust. It was like when you drop a watermelon, and I was trying to like look back, but like just like at the same time protect myself. And when I looked back, his face was like emptied right here, and when I swung my hair, like you could see like pieces of him coming out of my hair. So he was so high on cocaine, his adrenaline was pumping. That's actually how he survived. That's what saved his life, was cocaine. So he actually started chasing us down the steps with half a face. And he jumped onto the back of my co-defendant, and like he wouldn't let go. And I hear sirens in the background because old girl ended up calling the police. That's fine. I hear sirens in the background. So I'm hitting him with the shotgun in the face, in the part where it's busted open, you know, trying to get him off my co-defendant. And so he finally got off. And just as we got in the car, the police is pulling in. Yeah. And they literally looked at us. And I'm talking about eye contact. I'm talking about the same officer that arrested me a few days later was like, I seen you driving off. Like, I gave you eye contact, and my gut told me that you was the one. So we drove off, and I think we ended up going to his cousin's house, my co-defendant's cousin's house or something, but I didn't want to leave because his friend had ran. And I was like, we can't leave him out on this side of town. We can't. We got to wait for him. He like, nigga, get the fuck on. Like, fuck that nigga. Like, get the fuck on. Fuck him. Drive. And I literally, like, I was probably going to be the reason why we would have got caught that day. Because I didn't want to leave. I was like, no, we came together. We leaving together. Like, that nigga probably running around, like, trying to figure out where the fuck we are. I don't know. So I just was in my young mind thinking, like, nigga, we got to get this nigga. Like, what? So we didn't end up finding him. And I ended up having to leave. But we didn't go far. because I was like, well, what if he end up calling? I don't want us to be all the way across town. And so we stayed close by. We stayed close by, and we stayed up watching the news. This is why I don't watch the news no more. I don't. Matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, this is the reason. This is the last time I watched the news. I don't watch the news. You got to tell me what's on it, because I'm not finna just turn on the news like, news channel. No, I'm not finna do that. I'm not. So that night, we went to his cousin's, and when I tell you I was washing my hair, when I tell you, this is what it sounded like. And what that was is piece of his lip, pieces of his tongue, pieces of his face, his cheek, all that shit was in my hair. It was all on the back of my hair, like it literally looked like dye. Like how this dye is right now, it looked like I had red dye on the back of my shit. And then like in between like my hair, like I had like particles of like this nigga's face. So as I'm washing my hair, I hear my co-defendant say, we on the news. But not we on the news. He said, it's on the news. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what does it say? Because I'm thinking dude died. This is what I'm thinking. And if he died, ain't nobody know who the fuck I am. And they damn sure don't know who the fuck my co-defendant is. They don't know none of us. So I wasn't worried. It actually said on the news that he died. They was playing us. They was fucking playing us. They was trying to get us to come out. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that they really knew like where we was or nothing, but they already knew the information that they needed to know. And what it was is, that was my brother's friend. So when he was on the gurney, surviving from the gunshot to his fucking face, double barrel shotgun, higher than a Cuda Brown on motherfucking cocaine. He wrote down, I work at Pepsi. Jamel's sister shot me. That's what he said. And then, that's what they started saying on the news. If you guys know of any Jamel's sister, contact your local Crime Stoppers. It was a high-profile case. And so, which I'm sure after that, they was blowing my brother up. Somebody got a hold of him. Because he's the person, I think my brother was the one that told my parents that I'm about to go to prison. That I'm about to get locked up because of what happened. That the police is looking for me, actually. And they couldn't believe it. They like, what? The police is looking for her? What? Mind you, I've always felt like I had to take care of myself. Every time I've always spoke up about something that has ever happened. Hey, wifey. Every time I have ever spoke up, yeah. Every time I've ever spoke up about something that has ever happened to me, I've always felt like, I've always been made to feel like I'm the guilty party. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if I'm not. Or, here's the thing about a Taurus. Shout out to all my Tauruses. Motherfuckers will do something to us. And if we go a little bit overboard than what they did, because, you know, we like to, you know, take it, excuse me, above and beyond. So if you're one of those people, but seriously, I felt like I had to protect myself. I felt like I did. I feel like nobody would ever believe me anyway, is what I was feeling like. they didn't believe me before. I told myself I ain't gonna cry today, right? So it's just hurtful whenever it's supposed to be family that's supposed to believe you, and who believes you it's not the family. It's the friend, or it's the person that doesn't know you, or it's the person that is not related to you. Sad but true. No matter what somebody's history is, I don't give a fuck if you a prostitute and you sell pussy every fucking day. If tomorrow you decide that you never want to give your pussy away or anything, and somebody ends up taking it or any of that, don't ever make a motherfucker feel like because they was a prostitute yesterday that they wanted it. No, motherfucker. If I say no, it's no. If I say get off me, it's get the fuck off me. Like, what the fuck? So this is my thing. Let me ask y'all this. If somebody is saying, if you're coming on to somebody and they're like, hey, excuse me, no. And you keep, and then you pulling your dick out and you stroking yourself. What is that called? If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you share the live. It is the Couch Chronicles and there ain't no fucking limits. I just need to know, like, what is that called? Like, if somebody is grabbing at you, grabbing at your vagina, grabbing at your titties, stroking a dick, pulling a dick out, and you steady saying, no, get off me. Please get off me. Like, stop. What is that? You talking about that's called crazy? Nah, what is that called though? Like, you know how when you shoot somebody and you either miss or you graze them, you know how that's called attempted murder? Attempted. So y'all don't believe attempted rape? Is that not a thing? They talking about out of control. That's still rape. Exactly, Jenny. It is. Technically, it really is. And a predator. Exactly. Like, hello. If I'm telling you no, and you steady coming on to me, I don't give a fuck if I'm saying no. Because some people laugh when they're nervous. Seriously, some people laugh when they're nervous. I don't give a motherfuck. And I'm not going to be like, check my case. See why I got locked up? I'm not about to be doing all of that. Like, just don't touch me if I say no. Like, what the fuck? So, it's just crazy when family don't believe you. So, I didn't feel like nobody ever believed me, ever, growing up. So, I always felt like I always had to be the one to take up for myself, stand up for myself. I didn't give a fuck what type of situation it put me in. I didn't. It was times where when I was in DHS custody, when I say I've been to every shelter in the state of Oklahoma, I'm talking about from Pawhuska, Chickasha, Tahlequah. I'm not kidding, like, because I was so bad. Would you say it was bad? I don't know. I wouldn't really say bad. I would just say this. Once they separated me and my sister, I wasn't nice. I just didn't want to be anywhere. Every time they would take me somewhere, I would either bust out the windows or I would just run away. I would just like, fuck that. I don't want to be here. They don't know who I am. They don't like me. They don't want me here. Matter of fact, they do want me here for the check, but that's it. They don't give a fuck about what I'm going through. So I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be there at all. It was crazy. I was just like... And almost everyone that I was in DHS custody with, I was locked up with in prison. How ironic. How ironic is that? So when I caught my case, I really literally felt like I had to be the one to stand up for myself because nobody else was doing it. So when I went there to shoot him, I literally was just thinking, I'm going to kill this motherfucker and I'm going to go do some time. I was thinking that. I knew I was going to end up doing time. That's why I literally didn't put no mask on, nothing. Mask off, bitch. Fuck you mean? Like, you gonna feel me. Just like you didn't have no mask on when you raped me, I didn't want no mask on when I shot you. But my thinking was, he gonna die. This motherfucker had to survive. I mean, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Okay. I forgive, though. So, after I get done washing my hair and scooting the rest of his skin, lips, tongue down the drain, I go and I sit in front of the news for hours. And it seemed like they never turned it off. I was like, damn, they keep running this story back to, or maybe I was just so in my head that I kept hearing it back to back to back. It was like, he was on the gurney fighting for his life. He wrote down, I work at Pepsi. Jamel's sister shot me. Like, what the fuck? And they kept saying it. Man, they went so far as to saying I was pregnant. They was saying all type of shit. I was like, what the fuck? A pregnant stud. Like, because my hair, you know what I'm saying? I was feeling like set it off. So my hair was kind of, you know what I'm saying, braided a little differently. Maybe. Talking about a pregnant stud. The news, they write anything or they say anything in black and white to get y'all attention. Yeah, it might have been a high profile case, but only because they didn't know the details. They didn't know what he did to me 2 months before. So he raped me 2 months before and I found him 2 months after. And in my head, mind you, I was young. I was only 17. I was young. And in my head, I was like, I can't get over this one. I don't know what it was about that. I couldn't get over it. I had a job. I quit my job. I was depressed. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I was crying every day. Like, I didn't want to go pick up my clothes. I went shopping for a whole new wardrobe. I didn't even want to look the same. So, remember, y'all, I told y'all I ended up getting into it with him before. This is what I'm about to get into. So, I called, my brother had a girlfriend at the time, and I called her, and all of them knew each other. So I called her, and I'm like, yo, I'm going to come get my shit, but I don't know what I'm going to do if, and the guy that raped me, the one that I shot, his name was Sherrod. I said, I don't know what I'm going to do if Sherrod gets there. Like, if Sherrod is there, so please make sure, because she used to hold his drugs in her house. Okay, so listen. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do if he comes over. I said, so please, if you got to handle any type of business with him, please make sure that you do it before I get there. I said, matter of fact, I'm going to wait a couple hours and then I'm going to come get my shit. I waited a couple hours, right? I go over to get my shit. As I'm packing up, but before I start packing up, something told me, Janelle, go get this knife and put it in the crease of the couch. So I went and got the biggest knife I could find in the kitchen, and I put it in the couch. Exactly, Vicky. So I put it in the couch. I began packing my stuff, and I hear the door open. I'm like, but I had locked the top lock, so whoever opened it with their key, they had to wait. So I'm like, hold on. I'm like, Ashley, who has a key to your apartment? And she was like, why, what happened? What happened? I said, your door is opening, and they keep trying to get the top part off. Okay. Come to find out it was him. Oh, my goodness. That was my first time seeing him after he raped me. And it was like, Ooh, I said I wasn't gonna cry. The feelings that I felt, the emotions that I felt when I seen his face, because I was like, oh my God, like, I can handle just about anything. But I was like, man, this motherfucker coming to this bitch smiling and like everything is just all good. And he had his friend with him. And I was like, you gotta fucking go. You can't be in this bitch. And he was like, man, fuck you. Grabbing his dick. Oh my God. And so his friend was like, man, what's going on? What's I was trying not to say it. I was just like, just take this motherfucker and get the fuck up out of here. He was like, I ain't going until I get all my shit up out this bitch. I was like, you're not taking nothing out of here. I don't give a fuck. I didn't care. I didn't. I did not give a fuck about him leaving with anything. I don't care that it's your drugs. Bitch, you not leaving. I mean, you're not leaving with these drugs. You leaving and getting the fuck on. Just get the fuck on. Come back and get it when I'm gone. Well, he didn't want to hear that. His homeboy finally like, man, little mama, just, what you mean he can't get his shit? I was like, man, finally, I was like, this bitch ass nigga raped me. And he started laughing. Ooh. See, back then, I wasn't as strong as I am now. Laughing at me in my face or calling me a bitch. Oh, now I still can't get over that bitch word sometimes. But laughing in my face after you know what you did to me. His whole boy was like, oh yeah, I don't want shit to do with this. He's like, come on, we leaving. He was like, hell no, I ain't leaving. So his friend left. Walked out. When his friend walked out, that nigga tried to take off on me. Oh my God. When I say we tore Ashley's apartment up, her apartment was tore the fuck. She jumped in and her friend jumped in. But we was fighting. Like, I'm talking about, we was going toe to toe with this nigga. Like, I got stabbed, he got stabbed. And this is the reason why he ended up having to leave. Because he still wasn't trying to. He was fighting with his work in his hand. I'm talking about, when I say it was raining ecstasy, I'm not kidding. 1,000 pills. You hear me? I'm not 1,000. I'm not exaggerating. Imagine seeing 1,000 pills go in the air. They literally slapping me in my face, melting on my forehead. They in my head. We fighting because we literally like, I'm talking about, I was doing everything. Uppercut, side cut, 1 cut, 2 cut, 3 cut, motherfucking headbutt shit. All I know is I didn't give a fuck. I was not stopping. I was grabbing motherfucking cookie jars. I was trying to grab the fucking refrigerator, but it was too heavy. So I ended up getting my knife, that handy dandy knife that was sitting right there waiting for me. I said, and I didn't want to do it. I told him, I said, listen, I'm going to tell you one time. I ended up saying it more than one time, though. I said, I'm going to tell you one time, get the fuck out of here before I stab you. I promise, when I tell you I'm going to stab you, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I'm going to stab you. And I don't give a fuck if you die. He was like, you just going to have to stab me. This 1,000 motherfucking pills. Love you too. It's 1,000. I said, I don't give a fuck about these pills. And I started stepping on them bitches. I was crushing them like into the carpet. Fuck these. And so he started trying to attack me. And as soon as he tried to attack me, we finally had the door open. And I don't know if it was Ashley or Sarah. Somebody ended up pushing us out. Oh, my co-defendant was there. He ended up y'all, he see us fighting this grown-ass man the whole time. He did not jump in. It was us girls fighting him this whole time. Matter of fact, I couldn't even tell you what he was doing until that door opened. And then when that door finally, I should have known right then and there. Okay. Anyways, when that door finally opened, he pushed him out. And he steady trying to come in. So he tried to push me over because we was on the top floor. He was trying to push me over the balcony. Now, some people knew who I was. So they was like, pretty eyes! Fucking pretty eyes! Oh, matter of fact, I'm lying. That's not what they called me. My name was something totally different, and I'm not going to say it. But we just going to say it was pretty eyes back then, but it definitely wasn't. But it's the Couch Chronicles, and it ain't no fucking limits. Anyways, they was calling me by my other name. And they was like, people was screaming because they thought that I was about to, because it looked like I was about to go over. It did. And I felt like I was about to go over too. Until I realized I had this big ass knife in my hand. And what I needed to get my balance was whatever the fuck I was stabbing. And I'm telling y'all, I was stabbing that motherfucker like it was a goddamn steak. You hear me? Okay, you know how people be stabbing them steaks and they go like, oops. Yeah, you know how people be stabbing them steaks and they do like that? Look, I broke the bottom. Yeah, so I was stabbing because I was trying to get my balance. Like, I literally was about to fall. I just was trying to, whatever. I didn't give a fuck. And when I finally did, and I lifted myself up, I was in the top of his skull. And I'm not trying to laugh, but fuck that nigga shit. Disrespectfully. So, that's what pulled me up. Was the top of his head. The knife finally made it in, and it pulled me up. So thank God for his head. And his head gotta be damn strong because that motherfucker survived. He got half a face, bro. Anyways, so when I pulled it out, when I say blood was squirting everywhere, and then again my co-defendant came in and pushed him down the steps. So all I remember is his homeboy came out of nowhere and he dragged him into his car. About 30, maybe an hour later, I was still there. Nigga, I picked up all the motherfucking pills. All of them. Every single one of them. And I said, don't y'all touch none of these motherfuckers. Because if he ever asks, I want you to say that I took them. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Vicky. Yes, I did. Prior to me catching my case, I ended up stabbing him 2 months before I ended up shooting him. But, so his homeboy came back as I was putting the last part of my bags and stuff in the car. And he was like, and I was thinking he was coming to fight me for him. I'm like, shit, let me pull this bitch ass knife back out. So I'm like, what's up? He's like, oh, nah, little mama, first of all, he raped you. I'm not with none of that shit. I just took him to the hospital because he was bleeding half to death. He said, but I want you to know that he almost died. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, he passed out as soon as I put him in the hospital. He said, but I left him there and his baby mama came. So, I'm going to tell y'all about the baby mama in a minute. I honestly thought that the police was going to be looking for me then. I did. I did. Yes, and I did my time. Yeah, did it. Discharge and all of that. So, I kept looking at the news thinking, any moment now, they going to be like, Janelle, da-da-da-da-da-da, or my nickname. But I didn't hear none of that. He never told until I shot his face off. But when I caught my case, do y'all know, you know when they do, the first court and the, you know, like the victim show up or whatever? Do y'all know that his baby mama came and testified against me? Like she was there. And she was not there. She was not there. They allowed her to testify against me. She was like, 2 months ago, she stabbed him in the head. I had to go to the hospital. He almost died. Bitch, wait a minute. Where the fuck was you this months ago? This now? What? Because you was nowhere to be found when I shot this man in the face. You didn't do nothing but show up to the hospital afterwards. But you wasn't there while she was trying to make it like she was the girl that called 911. Because the girl never showed up. So shout out to that girl, whoever you are. But I will say this. He was so upset about the case that he sent, maybe I might be shy of a couple numbers. But he sent 5 people to jail and to the prison to fight me. No, she didn't. Oh, no, he didn't tell them that. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Like, he was sending people to fight me on the yard. He didn't tell them that he raped me. But come to find out, after all of this was said and done, some of the girls actually was raped by him too. And some of them was just like, yo, I'm so glad somebody did something to him. You wasn't being charged for stabbing him, so how in the entire fuck? Right, they let her testimony count. They let her she's in my discovery. She's on my paperwork. Yeah, all of them. The only person that didn't come testify against me was because my co-defendant testified against me too. The only person that didn't testify against me was the girl that actually called 911. She was nowhere to be found. Matter of fact, if she was to walk up to me today, I wouldn't even. Matter of fact, Sarah Dreyer could be her right now. And I would never know. I would never know. So, just like I never knew when he was sending girls to fight me. And let me tell you, this is how I found out. Years later, I'm at Mabel Bassett. And it was this African girl. But she wasn't like a regular African. She was light-skinned African. Matter of fact, she was Nigerian. But she was light-skinned. And she came. And she was from Tulsa. And so we ended up being cool, you know what I'm saying, like playing basketball every day. We was on the same dorm. You know, she was hungry. I used to give her noodles, whatever. So one day we was all talking about, and I never really talked about my case on the yard. I just didn't feel a need to. I didn't feel like asking nobody about their shit. I didn't give a fuck. Fuck what you in here for. Now, if I find out that you in here for molesting a child and you're doing something that has to do with children, like knitting motherfucking blankets for kids, I'm gonna motherfucking drag you through the mud. I'm not gonna lie. I did. I'm grown now. I'm not gonna do that now. But when I was on the yard, I did. Like, don't think that you in here for molesting kids and that you about to sit up here and knit some motherfucking. No, the fuck you not knitting nothing. I'm gonna steal all your yarn and I'm gonna throw it away. You nasty fuck. So, anyways, back to your regular program. If you just now tuning in, it's the Couch Chronicles and there ain't no fucking limits. Make sure you follow Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify, Pandora, THA Couch on Facebook and TikTok. Couch Chronicles No Limits on Instagram and my main YouTube and Instagram, which is tharealjanell. If you want to support the couch, you can Cash App or PayPal or Chime. tharealjanell. All support helps. Yeah, I used to throw away the yarn. I wasn't playing. You was not about to knit anything thinking blankets for kids. No, ma'am. You better be making that motherfucking blanket for your motherfucking Sally. You better be making it for her grown ass. That's what I know. But anyways. Yeah. So they allow her to testify against me. He testified against me. But me and old girl ended up getting close. And then one day we was talking about cases. And I don't know what made me just say. I was just like, shit. I don't know what I said. I said something about Oh, yeah, I called my case in Tulsa, and it was a high-profile case. I said, so you probably heard of it anyway. So if you know my name, then you know the case. So she was like, well, where was it at? And I was like, the Avondale Apartments. And her eyes got real big. She was like, I was like, what? She was like, oh my God. I was like, what? And she kind of was talking like that, yeah. So she was like, I'm just putting two and two together. I was like, what? She was like, I was actually sent to fight you. I said, from who? She was like, Sherrod. I said, oh, yeah? I said, so what's up? I mean, is that what we're going to do? She was like, no, me and you was friends. I'm cool with you. And matter of fact, because I told my story before I got into the Avondale Apartments and blah, 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 blah. But I was telling my story, which made her was like, wait a minute, was that in Tulsa? I was like, yeah, it was a high-profile case. Da-da-da-da-da. That's when that had happened. And so she was like, no, he raped you. He did not tell us that. He said that you came to rob him, that I came to rob him, and it was a robbery going wrong. That's all that was said. Matter of fact, they was even saying that. I got charged with assault with a deadly, assault with a dangerous. No, wait. I got charged with assault with a deadly, grand larceny, first-degree burglary, and armed robbery. Y'all hear that? Damn near all the same thing, right? Now, first of all, they talking about burglary because I went in the house. Okay, cool. Armed robbery. What the fuck did I take? What did I take? First-degree burglary, armed robbery, and grand larceny? Yeah, I should have had I had a lawyer, but that nigga was brand new. Matter of fact, after my case, he quit being a lawyer. He's never lawyered again. Like, what the fuck? Man. I gotta take a sip on that. Yeah. This shit, let me tell y'all something. Y'all, everybody that's been locked up, shout out to y'all. Y'all are some strong motherfuckers. We some strong motherfuckers. I'm telling you, when she told me that, I'm looking at her like, so I told her, you know, if I ever wake up out of a dream and my dream said, she gonna get you, I'm just gonna come take off on you. Because I don't trust you. Like, you friends with the enemy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but after that, she did everything she could to prove that, like, she was genuine to me, that she really, like, cared about me. So we ended up real cool. So obviously she never tried to fight me, which, what? You gonna fight me over somebody that raped me? What? Let's make that make sense now. Let's do that. Let's make that make sense, because right now it's just not. So, but yeah, that was really crazy. I was just like, damn, she was like, yeah, it was 7 of us that came up here. So y'all caught cases to fight me? Is it that serious? She was like, well, he had a hold on us. What type of hold is that? Yo, we got to get into another song. We not about to play these games today. It's the Couch Chronicles, and it ain't no fucking limits. I literally was born for this shit, man. I was.
Yeah, I'm gonna start this one off a little bit low, and then I'm gonna come off a little high. Yeah. I know somebody gonna feel me on this.
Somebody gonna feel me on this.
It's pretty eyes in this bitch. And I'm about to
I'm just saying, hey.
Yeah, I was born for this. I made it through the storm for this. And I always wanted more like this. And I see that they be watching.
But they what?
But they really not supporting shit. But it's okay, cause I'ma make a way. I done been down for the count with all them lonely days. So I'm used to gray skies and rainy days. And I know some people tired of what I'm spitting, but I'll spit it till I fade away. Promise I done had some crazy days. My life's a movie, you can see it, no commercials or no lazy ways. Just take the life that I chose, but I want more for it. The only reason why I handle it is cause I'm chose for it. Nah, for real, nah, for real.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Man.
That's the only reason why the fuck I can handle this shit. I was born for this. I made it through the storm for this. And I always wanted more like this. And I see that they be watching.
And I see that they be watching, but they what?
But they really not supporting shit. I was born for this. I made it through the storm for this. And I always wanted more like this. And I see that they be watching.
But they what?
But they really not supporting shit.
Man, I'm gonna do what I gotta. My name still rings bells, so I am a problem. If you do not come correct, just don't bother.
I will not stop, I'ma guess that's the options. For real though. That's the motherfucking options.
Hold on, I'm
a guessing on motherfucking breaks.
Wait,
cause it's the life for me.
Right.
I was born for this. I made it through the storm for this. And I always wanted more like this. And I see that they be watching.
And I see that they be watching, but they what?
But they really not supporting shit. I was born for this. I made it through the storm for this. And I always wanted more like this. And I see that they be watching.
And I see that they be watching, but they what?
But they really not supporting shit.
Hey, but they not though. Yo, y'all make sure you follow Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify, Pandora, THA Couch on Facebook and TikTok. Couch Chronicles No Limits on Instagram, and my main YouTube and Instagram, which is tharealjanell. It's prison talk today and tomorrow, and then next week we're gonna be back on our regular schedule. Next month we're gonna do prison talk again. Okay. Tomorrow we actually got an old Mabel Bassett nurse. Okay. I got some questions. I'm writing this shit down this time. If you got some specific questions, drop a comment. I'm gonna go back and read the comments. DM me. I'm gonna go back and read my DM. I'm about to post her picture tonight. If you remember her, make a comment on the picture. I love y'all. It's the Couch Chronicles, and it ain't no fucking limits. Hey, it ain't no limits though. Hey, it ain't no limits though. It ain't no limits though. Hey, it ain't no limits though. Hey, it ain't no limits, little bro. Yeah. I love y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow on the couch. Damn. Have a good night. It's the Couch Chronicles.